Dear Gemini, it's a Valentine for you. And so within this Valentine's week, coming off of the last 10 years, the last 26,000 years, if you look at 5D astrology, if you follow that, just astrology in general, momentous things are happening, and in this week, keeping it to you, Gemini, your dear Valentine, we are coming out of those amazing eclipses that brought us into 2019, or what we define as 2019. Anyway, those eclipses that happened in January. And then right now all planets are direct, and within this past week, first of all, on Sunday, Mars was trine the galactic center. Then we also have, during this week, Chiron, 29 of Pisces, Uranus, 29 of Aries, Icarus, 29 of Capricorn, Persephone, 29 of Sagittarius, Juno, 29 of Taurus, Pallas Athena, 29 of Libra, and also Orion, 29 of you, Gemini. So, which is to say that we are at the last, we're at a point of resolution and going into the next, and we are just in this immense shift as a collective. And how I read this is that we are finding our way and witnessing each other as we move into this grand time of really having to adjust so much, because we are all falling into our birthright of honoring and inhabiting our soul's true shape, which is what we came here to embody as part of the earth, our consciousness and our physicality, and our soul as collaboration with and as part of the earth. Okay, right now this week, what do you have to draw on in particular as a Gemini, an air sign? And the pink here represents the air, the airiness of you, and you as a Gemini. We all have. Okay, so this is the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles. So there's a sense of reciprocity and movement. We never have, one is not higher than another in the new economies of grace. No one has more than another. We each come with our own immeasurable value and our contribution to the whole of whatever, of the great society of everyone on earth, of our, most intimate situations, of our communities, of our workplaces, of our schools, of our, and then in our most, precious, intimate relationships. Not that other relationships can't also be precious. Certainly they can. Anyway, okay. So what you have to draw upon is your own innate cleverness and ease. You have a certain ease about you, Gemini, where you're able to deal with sort of the changes and the permutations and the sort of reciprocity of even mood swings or just as emotions and different things go around our days and through our communities, you have a real graciousness in your acceptance and appreciation of all. Okay, and you can draw upon that, and that is something that you have innately. Okay, now I'm going to draw some for Mars. Mars having trine the galactic center, this orangish, yellowish is standing for Mars. So Mars having trine the galactic center, which is major, on Sunday, and then Mars being conjunct Uranus today on Wednesday, as I'm making this, and then Mars entering Taurus. ahead of Uranus entering Taurus. So Mars is entering Taurus tomorrow, Valentine's Day. We will get to your Valentine story and any questions that you've been, just whatever is playing out for you. Okay, insights into that. These are the larger things within which your stories are happening. And, it's all I can't, I don't know, I'm picturing it more visually, just the way that stories within patterns within patterns. But anyway, this will be for your more intimate patternings, and these are for sort of the grander operatics of the motion of the stars and just larger societal patterns that are going on that yours is a part of and affects and is affected by. Okay, all of this. Okay. So for Mars trine the galactic center, you'll get 1. Then for Mars conjunct Uranus today, and then also for Mars moving into Taurus, because that is a precursor for for Uranus moving into Taurus after years of being in Aries. Okay. And again, as I was saying earlier, so many things are at the 29th degree. Also, Chiron at the 29th degree of Pisces is pretty major right now. And these other ones are just as major in their own way. But if you're interested in the way I'm looking at things, look at the ones for the other signs and also especially the ones I make for the full collective. Because I do talk about, a lot of levels of what's happening. Okay, so, and if you want a more personalized reading, definitely just get in touch with me. All the info is below. Okay, Mars trining the galactic center, the 8 of Pentacles. So it's the work, it's the ability, your ability to, in holding this and being a calm and a steady. You don't have to be calm all the time, Gemini. You don't, but you are a steady participant and a hard worker. Okay, as we make and tend and remake this world in a way where we all can be held in honor and love within our own integrity and identity. Okay. So Mars is supporting you in your works, in the plain gorgeousness of your creativity and your efforts. Okay. And then so Mars conjunct Uranus. So today, that can be like a breakthrough and a surprise, and also it can feel difficult too. As I've said in pretty much every video lately, as we move, we've held each other and ourselves and our self-understanding and our understanding of the world in certain ways that have become congealed or constrictive or were never correct, or didn't take everything into account, or were unjust or cruel, or just in some way not correct, not true. Okay. And as we move into this truth of each of our graciousness and fullness, because we've held each other in certain ways and that needs to shift, there can be pain and discomfort and argument and difficulty, with that. Okay, but the Knight of Pentacles, you have gotten all Pentacles so far. So this is the slow and steady and sturdy and true and reliable and certain knight. There's a certainty to you in the way that you are able to be part of collaborative multiplicities of thoughts, of interactions, of collaborations. You bring this steadiness, this gorgeous creativity and work that doesn't have to feel, it can feel happy, the work. It doesn't have to feel like work. Oh, and then you get the Queen of Cups. Okay, and that's for Mars moving into Mars, and then as a preview of Uranus moving into Taurus for the next 7 or so years. So really this gorgeous being seated in love, and being, what's the word I'm trying to think of? This confidence, this faith that you will be held, that love is your birthright. Love, respect, and honor. And you're never alone. I mean, you have your solitudes, but you're held tenderly by your communities and relationships and self-understanding. Okay. And I see that my battery's running down on my phone. As we are as we are moving into the fullness of the moon in Virgo over the weekend. Something for you. Oh, and it is the Page of Wands. So a happy resolve, a happy beginning in some way. Something is beginning. You know, we've had all these moons in a row, full moons that have been at 0 degrees. Like, I think this might be the 5th in a row. So that this fullness, this coming to fullness and wholeness is also initiatory. It's initiatory. So you're initiating something there. Okay. One more for the moon. Oh, and this dreamy, happy boy with all these cups of ideas and possibilities. And don't worry. Sometimes this card is taken as, you know, oh, you're just like, can't make a decision, or it's just too much, or it's too floaty, or too, it's not committing to anything or something like that, right? It's flighty almost, the 7 of Cups. Not so much in this deck, okay? It's an abundance. There's an abundance, but you have this steadiness. You have so much steadiness, okay? And so when you are allowing yourself to initiate, you can trust in yourself that you won't take on too much, and that your works will be good works. Let me make sure I still have time running. I do. Okay, and now for your, I might come back to this deck. For your Valentine, I'll use the newest deck, as we're coming into new times. And you have the 5 of Cups, so leaving something behind. Something that's been painful you can leave behind, or ways of self-perception, or relationships or family systems that have been, or any kind of hardship or pain you've been through. We sit with that, we honor that, but we have more. There's more to come. And look at this nice balancing of the 2 upright cups on either side of Heloise here. Okay. So it's a moving into, perhaps this was good when that time was right, and then there's sorrow in leaving it behind, but there's a graciousness to being fully in the present, and there's such steadiness within you as you initiate a new time, okay, as we've seen in the other cards. And then this one, the 2 of Swords, often is seen as being mentally unable to see forward or something, or being kind of scared, in typical tarot decks. But in this deck, it's Helen Keller, and I really see it as, and you see how the swords are not crossed in front of her, but they're open. So more like the 2 of Wands in a way, receptivity. I read this card in this particular deck as being unwilling or unable even to be constrained by any perceived limitation. Just this great vision and love and sturdiness and courage and spark of lively joy, that just human grace that can't be contained, okay? Can't be contained in any old ideas either. So that's perhaps why those other cups have had to spill over, because these structures just didn't fit anymore. That we got the Queen of Swords, Benazar Bhutto. So clarity, throned in clarity, throned in your own clarity and ways of knowing. We got the Nine of Swords, which can be worry, but I'm letting you know that you don't need to worry. You can be fully seated in your own graceful ability, creativity, collaborative spirit. Okay. Okay, so there's a change coming. It's a rich and vibrant change. Rich and vibrant, and allows for new color. 10 of Wands, so that can feel a burden, a lot of work. So there may be work coming, but you're up for it. And the 7 of Swords. So there is some difficulty here. There's some difficulty. But then again, the Knight of Swords and Wallace Simpson is the Knight of Swords. There's a clarity to love. There's a clarity and a trueness to love that can't be constrained. It cannot be constrained. And it can be relied upon. And it can be used to move us forward. Okay? Okay. And I'm going to pull one clarifier, I think, from the Mother's Wisdom. So I don't know if this is so much with you or with another person, or, you know, but these are, it could be within you, it could be within somebody that you're thinking about, what they're going through. You know, as you're calm and steady, perhaps they have a lot of sort of, or perhaps it's you too, sweetheart. But, you know, don't feel that you have to be the steady one, right? If you're feeling these difficulties, or just almost just the tenderness of change, even if it's super exciting, it can be scary and freaky. Like even if you say fall in love and it's so exciting and comforting and wonderful and amazing, but it can cause, again, as I was saying, things to shift within the patterns and the other relationships you've held, you know, or even your self-perception, and that in itself can be strange, to just make room for love, including self-love. Including self-love, and here you are. This such a capable, beloved, creative, steady, sturdy human, making your path, making your way, making your contribution, holding your perceptions. And you are loved for that. And that is your love in the world. One more. Okay, so there's definitely a moving away from something that's been difficult, or that is outgrown. But remember, so much steadiness here, creativity, and what you can really rely on here is just being seated and crowned in knowing that you are part of a whole and that you are so loved. You mean so much to so many people, and they're there for you. As you initiate and make your steady, sturdy, gorgeous contribution. Something new and glorious is burgeoning up from within you.